Hi, this is your friend and possibly neighbor, Ace of Hearts, and I am here for another LMMS tutorial. Second one. I know it's been a while. I've had some technical issues with my graphics card and RA Live, which is what I used to record, and I finally fixed it, I think, hopefully. So, yeah, we're going to talk about the basic instrument interface right here. It's another basics. I will talk about every other instrument right here, but we're going to start with triple oscillator. Half of these will be one in, tutorial video, all that stuff. So yeah, this is triple oscillator. It is a very simple instrument. So, what is this? So we're gonna start up here actually. An instrument works at the very top. You can change the name of preset. So we call it JF, JFK, right? And you click out to enter it. These numbers are arrows, right here, are to change track. So you can change all the track. You can go all the way back. So yeah. Now this here is volume. These two controls right here. So you have this volume all the way up. Now I have a little tip for LMMS. Never turn anything all the way up. Keep it like this and lower the volume. Because unless it's in Untitled effects, because it's a very quiet synth, but it doesn't have a very good audio system, so it will be super clippy and annoying and bad, and it will rape your ears. But yeah, this is pan. This is how far to the left or right the instrument goes, but since there's 3 oscillators, we'll talk about that later. Now this is pitch. You don't know the difference really. This is so you can do pitch bends or make rises. So you have range. This is how many cents you can do it up to 60. You can make weird sliding notes, like that one show, like that one song that I don't remember what it's called. One of those songs. And you can change the how far. I recommend keeping it at 12 because that's 1 octave. Yeah, I think that's 1 octave. And yeah, you can make weird pitch bends with this. Like synthwave, if you know what I'm saying. But so then we're gonna go to this. This is to change the FX track. One of these is assigned to. So like say you have one FX track. I'll talk about the mixer alone in a different tutorial. So you have the mixer, you can move it to FX track 1. So then when you play it, you can change the volume super loud or super low. But we're gonna delete the FX track. We don't need that now. So yeah, we have that. But yeah, now we're gonna talk about the actual thing. This is the FM. Makes different noises. AM. Mix them is just all in play at the same time. Sync, they're all synced together. FM. This is like changing, because FM is basically, these change the modulation of this, but we're not talking about that yet. I'll talk about that in more advanced sound design tutorials. But we're just going to talk about this. So we're going to turn off these 2 oscillators and focus on oscillator 1. So oscillator 1, this is the volume, how loud it is. Remember, don't turn anything all the way up. This is the pan with this oscillator. But you can't absolute pan this instrument for some reason because it's weird. This is the coarse detune. This is like this thing, but alone. It's like when you turn all these on, all these are set differently. So we're turning them off. This is fine detuning left and right. So say you have, that'll just say you want to make a super saw like this. Like you want to make a super saw. You make a super saw. And it's not really loud to me, but if it's loud to you, please turn it off so I don't make your ears bleed. But talk about this. These are waveforms. This is how it sounds. This is a perfect signal. It's called a sine wave. It's clean, but it's a little ears are nice. Alright, so is what you would mail most of your leads out of. Sound design. If you know what sound design is, this is square wave. Super not good to stack. If you're into 8-bit music, exponential wave, it's kind of like a saw wave. Sounds almost exactly like, but it's a little cleaner. This is an exponential wave, like a mix of a sine, and this is white noise. Random noise throughout the whole spectrum, and you can see the. So we're gonna say this. Next, we're going to the exact, but this is the envelope. Envelope is the physical aspects of the sound. So how this basically will modulate right here. This will basically modulate the volume of this. It can also modulate the frequency cutoff and the resonance this, but I normally only use volume, and you can just use effects for that. But this right here is the amount. Modulation amount, that's how much it will go. You know, delay. You turn delay on, you notice it happens a little bit after I hit the key. Right? Attack. How long it takes, like say you're making strings, so it doesn't happen immediately, right? When it's all the way down, you have kind of that initial hit. When it's not, it will slowly, ever so slowly actually build up. You can see, but we don't do that. You can also make kind of a sidechain effect with the envelope. I actually found an instrument thing. Oh, yeah, talk about that. Well, I forgot to say this. To add an instrument, you just find the one you want, like triple oscillator, and just drag it in its timeline. It's so simple. Like, so you have your timeline, just drag it in. But yeah, and then you delete it by removing, so you don't want the instrument. But this is, we're back here. So hold is how long it will actually hold. It will hold forever, basically. If you hold it, then you'll notice it'll immediately go down. Decay is how long, see this right here, it'll go down. So say, that's just a weird hit. You make chords. You make a bell. You know, reset everything. The sustain is, you know, the same thing. Turn decay, sustain all the way down. It will not sustain a lot. Turn all the way up. It really doesn't affect the sound. Now this can be interesting. Like say you like making trap, want to make a bell, you do. You know, I don't ever had release on. You can have it. So it will take so long. It'll still play. Basically what it does is it still plays after you click the thing. Okay, that's envelope. That's weird. Well, I'm going to just remove it and add another triple oscillator. So, this basically, now when you move to LFO, it does the same thing as the envelope, but it modulates always. It doesn't just happen that one time you hit the key like an envelope does. The LFO will always go in wave or say a square. You know, this is just basic. You can do cutoff LFO. You know, I don't ever use that. You know, and then you have volume. We'll go to volume. You can change it to the different waveforms right here. So it'll stop, it'll build up, it'll stop. Same thing happens here with square. It's totally different. It'll just go and it'll stop. It'll go and it'll stop. This is just random. Don't ever use random because it's weird. It's like white noise. This is speed. Speed is how fast the envelope happens. So it'll happen super slow or super fast, which is weird because now something fun you can do. So say you want to tempo sync it, so it goes for 8 notes. So it sounds dubsteppy. Right? Delay is how long it takes the LFO to happen. It's like you can make some weird dubstep sound. All that. That's the only reset it. Attack is how long it takes the LFO to happen. Like you can do the speed super fast. So like builds up, wah, 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 you know. Simple. Amount is how much the LFO happens. This will happen opposite. It doesn't really matter here. It just depends on how you want to start. Frequency. This will double the frequency, so it'll like overclip it, which I don't recommend. This one's cool. It'll modulate how much. So say you have an envelope. It'll modulate how it's basically doing this. So if it's basically doing that, but not smoother than how a human can do. So yeah, that's that. Next is the filter. Filter is basically just an equalizer, but it's so if I want to do this, I'll turn on the other oscillators. So I can show it. So basically, we go to FX. We're gonna add an equalizer. So there are different. There are 3 main types. I don't recommend these. So you can see that's our frequency. We're gonna go try to do a middle frequency. Right there it is. So when you do the filter, you see it'll cut off a certain amount. Low pass will do this here. So this is a cutoff. It will cut off the high frequencies. I guess you could LFO this, right? It does that. High pass does the opposite. So the lower it is, the higher it is, the more it cuts off. So it does this basically. That's basically what it's doing. Bandpass is this. Bandpass will boost only a certain frequency. So we're gonna turn it off. Uh-oh. Yeah, bandpass is basically doing this. That's basically what bandpass is doing. So we're just gonna complete that. Those are the basics. Oh, filter. And you see, the frequency's around here, 2000 hertz. That's where it's really boosting it. Alright, so then we have envelopes, LFOs, and filters. Next is this one. This is stacking and arpeggio. Stacking is like you want to make a chord, but you're too lazy to actually write it out like this on the piano roll. That sounds horrible. So we're just gonna turn off the other oscillators because we don't want, you know. And what stacking does is it makes a thing. So say you want to do a major chord and you hit C, it'll do the major chord of C, which I find really cool. It's a simple tool. FL Studio does have it, but I don't recommend using it for FL Studio just because that's a better audio thing. Oh, crap. Yeah, there we go. So FX, this. So major B5, it'll do the different chords. I'm just gonna stay on major. And say you have a saw and you don't want to mess around with fine detuning, you can make a supersaw like that. Now range is how many octaves up or down it does it on. So 2 octaves, 3 octaves, and etc. Up to 9 octaves. You know, no, 1 octave. Alright. Next are arpeggios. Arpeggios are fun because, like, an arpeggio is basically doing this. So this is an arpeggio. So say we might be on the major arpeggio, major chord, and we go up to C and up to E. And then we do this. This is basically what an arpeggio does. We're just going to do this. We're going to turn it off here. And we're going to recreate the arpeggio. So we're going to go here. And this is what it does. That's what an arpeggio does. It is not as clippy, but you know. So we can exactly recreate that by tempo syncing the time to a half note to a quarter note. No, to an eighth note. I'm sorry. We turn gate, and we go up. We go major. Reset, and we still go sort. We can go sync, sort. It doesn't really make a difference. We can go up and down. So we'll go down. We're gonna go up and down. So we can change the chord. We can do major, you know. And we can do how far up it will go. Same as this, 1 octave, 2 octaves. You know, all that. Cycle. You know, it'll cycle through the notes. It does weird stuff. Skip. How many notes will skip? And this is how many notes we'll miss. So it'll just randomly choose stuff to miss. Gate, how far apart the notes are. I recommend keeping it at 100. So there's that. Arpeggios, basically. FX, you can add effects and stuff. We're not talking about that now. We'll talk about that in a later tutorial. It's probably the next one. I can really stay up a bunch of time. This is for MIDI controllers. I'm assuming if you're more advanced and you have a MIDI controller, you know how to do stuff like this. But it's not like you can control 2 and stuff. But yeah, but you know how to map MIDI controllers. You have your channel and your velocity. I'd assume you know how to do that. But so I'm not going to talk about it because I don't own a MIDI keyboard. I just own my keyboard, my typing keyboard, which you can also use, but that's all you really need if you're just starting out. So yeah, this is important. So this is the master pitch. This is how high up or how low the whole song is. I'm gonna put it back to a sine. Now, I recommend turning it down off because it's stupid, but if you want, you can have it on. This is actually a new feature, so if you have the non-beta versions like I have, you might not have this. I'm not sure if the new one's been released yet, but otherwise I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the basics of this tutorial. I'll talk about the sampler, the bit invader, FreeBoy, gig player, kicker, LV.